Denver Nuggets were crowned 2022-2023 champions this year in the NBA. Immediately after them winning, fans have already turned their attention to the offseason. The NBA draft being next week, teams are already on the prowl looking to make moves. I'm here to share my thoughts of what teams are going to make trades during draft night. And before I get started into the video, if you like content like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Good old Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers. Mr. Loyalty himself, Damian Lillard, is tired of losing, and we know that the Portland Trail Blazers is nowhere near a winning team. The relationship between the two has really gone into a stalemate. At one moment, you see interviews with Damian Lillard stating that he wants to remain loyal to Portland, and the next day he'll go on another interview stating that he wouldn't mind playing with the Miami Heat. In my opinion, I think Portland should go ahead and move on for Damian Lillard, and they have the perfect opportunity. The Trailblazers currently hold the third pick in this year's draft, and you could possibly do two things with that pick. Take your chance drafting Scoot Henderson or Brandon Miller, or trade that pick for even more assets, because this is a very wanted pick. If you trade the pick, I doubt that the haul that you receive will make an immediate impact right away. Therefore, Damian Lillard should be traded due to him wanting to win, and trailing Dame will result to another immense haul that the Blazers will receive. Regardless if Dame gets traded draft night, I think Portland will make a trade that night. A contending team can show interest to a center like Nurkic. As well, Anthony Simons has been on the radar for a lot of teams, but Portland really has to make some decisions to make, and it's all based around Damian Lillard. Zion Williamson isn't making a name of himself off the court. He surely still isn't making a name of himself on the court. There's been a lot of rumors speculating that the Pelicans are ready to move on from Zion Williamson, and it's understandable since he's landed inside the NBA. He's played less than 40% of his games, but when he's on the court playing, his impact is there. He's considerably a top 10 to 15 player when he is playing. I talked about how the Portland Trail Blazers having the third pick has drawn interest to a lot of teams. Well, the Pelicans are one of those teams that are looking to move up in this upcoming draft. They have their eyes on wanting to draft Scoot Henderson, but the Blazers have reported that they want a nice haul for their pick, so it will require either Brandon Ingram or Zion Williamson for that third pick. Like I said about Damian Lillard, how the Blazers are revolving around him, the Pelicans must make that decision if they want to continue with the Zion Williamson saga. Even with the questions surrounding Zion, I still think the Pelicans make a move. The Pelicans have plenty of young talent that is sitting on their bench that can provide minutes for other teams. I'm talking Dyson Daniels, Kira Lewis Jr., Jackson Hayes. Those are players that are most likely going to be on the move if Zion Williamson doesn't get traded that draft night. The Toronto Raptors have been trying to figure out their identity since winning the championship back in 2019. And now I think the organization understands that they just need to go ahead and rebuild. Reports have been stated that the Raptors are interested in moving up in this year's draft. In addition, in the past, the Raptors flirted around of possibly trading their own players of Gary Trent Jr. and OG Anunoby. I expect at least one of those players to be traded during this upcoming draft. I know that the Raptors are most likely to move on from Pascal Siakam, but I don't see it happening during the draft night. And for the last team that I think that's going to do a move during the NBA draft, it will surprise a lot of people, and that's the Golden State Warriors. You would think just from winning the championship last year that the Warriors would want to keep their team intact. Well, after an unprecedented season and not playing their youth, things are starting to change. Speaking of youth, I think that Jonathan Kuminga will be moved this upcoming draft night. Jonathan Kuminga has showed frustrations to this Warriors organization due to a lack of playing time and not having a consistent role on this team. Besides Jordan Poole, the Warriors have struggled to develop their youth. Kuminga is a player that still has a lot of potential to be untapped, and I think the Warriors understand it's best to move on from Kuminga while his value is still high. Although I have read that the Warriors do have interest of moving up in the draft, which is weird. But for me, Kuminga is high on the list of players that could possibly be traded on the Warriors team. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. There's going to be a follow-up to this video to see if I was right or wrong with my predictions. I appreciate you guys showing love and support. Until next time.